Hello, I'm Candace with Get Your Colors On. I'm glad you're here with me to join me. And oh gee. Oh boy. It's not working. Hello, how are you today? This is Candace with Get Your Colors On. Hello, this is Candace with Get Your Colors On. This is my first time of recording, and I am hoping this goes that you can see this and you can watch this. And so anyway, I'm going to be okay. So here I am. All right. This is my first time ever recording, and it's a lot of mishaps and everything, but I think that everything's going to be all right. It just takes a little getting used to. And so I just want to welcome everyone to Get Your Colors On. And I'm Candace, your host of the Get Your Colors show on. And I am now going to be sharing I'm going to be coloring out of Nola Hintzel's book, her newest book. But before I do that, I wanted to share some of her books with you. There is this book here. This is Planet Geometry. I have colored many, 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 many pictures in this, and they come out just fabulous. There's all kinds of designs, and one day I will show you that book and show you how it works and how much fun that book really is. And then here's a really great fun book. This is Robot Fashion Show. These are all Nola Hintzel's. And so I just wanted to take this time and tell you I am so glad that you get to see this. Okay, her newest book is Southwest, Old Southwest, Missouri. And I don't have her actual book, but I do have her PDF part of it. And I would be glad to show some of the pictures to you. And this is the cover of her PDF. And it's Old Southwest, Missouri. It's an adult grayscale coloring book. And it has a lot of great pictures you would see probably if you went to, back in time, you know. You would have seen a lot of these sites. They're really familiar, and they're really a lot of cool sites from back then. But anyway, this is the next page I will show. And this one says, this just tells about her other books. And this is what she says in the book. I'm going to read it. It says, prepare to experience a different kind of calm combined with a touch of nostalgia while coloring these grayscale images of places and structures found in Southwest Missouri, USA. If this is your first grayscale coloring book, it will be an entirely different experience from coloring black and white line art. This coloring book includes images from the city of Joplin, Anderson, Knoll, No-Show, Cartridge, Reddings Mill, Granby, Webb City, Cassville, and other nearby towns within McDonald, Newton, Jasper, and Berry counties. You will find an old gas pump to color or Old Town Square and Main Street buildings, a courthouse or two, farm structures, and much more. Being a grayscale coloring book, coloring these images will bring them to life in a way that will surprise you, and it is my hope that these images will touch your soul the way they did mine. And on the back cover, she has thumbnails of all of her images in the book. And I didn't print that out, and I didn't print all the images out. I'm just going to show the few that I have. This is actually the cover photo, and I colored this for her cover photo for her book. And then there's this building, and I'm just going to show one after another of what I have, and the very last one I show is the one I'm going to color from. So these are just some of the pictures in her book. And they're really good. Just really nice grayscale pictures that leave you stress-free and worry-free on how to shade and stuff. That's the beauty of grayscale. So I'm just showing you some of the pictures. that are in the book. And all these really look exciting to color. They have great dimension, great clarity. I can really see these very clear. And this was one I thought I would color because it's got a little poochie in there. But I changed my mind. I chose another one. And then this, the back side of a building. And this one is an old filling station. A church. An old-timey church. I wonder how many of you all know or remember about the old churches. And here is another nice one. Old truck in it. And here's an old-timey bank. And I think this is a church, maybe a Catholic church or something. I don't know. I mean, it could be a Baptist church. Here's another one with a poochie in it. And how about if you got a poochie, you got to have a fire hydrant. Definitely need a fire hydrant. And here's the picture I'm going to color. There's a lot more pictures than this in her book. And I'm going to color this last one I showed you. This is an awesome book. Really, really awesome. And this is, don't forget the cover. This is the cover. And it's by Nola Hintzel. Hintzel. And so you can kind of see her name. Hold it up there for you to see it. You can. So now I'm going to put this away. And I am going to get my trusty little board because I have a very small area. I need to move my keyboard so I can work in this area. And I'm going to, I'm not sure what kind of medium. I think probably pencils today is what I'll be using. And I'm going to be using reds and greens in different shades of green as I color this picture. And you just follow along or pull out something you like to color and just follow along. And if you have a comment, just type it in there and I'll be glad to respond to you. Okay, I'm going to move this down so you can see me coloring. All right, so as you can see, I have this barn here. So I'm going to use, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my Prismas to color. And I think I'll start with the rooftop. The rooftop to me seems it should be green. Seeing it is a, a barn kind of thing. So I'm going to get a dark green. And then I'm going to get a lighter green. And just progressively go down in shades. All right, so I've got some pencils picked out. And I'm just going to start coloring. you know, coloring should be fun. It should not be something that stresses you out. It should be something that's fun and lighthearted. And just fun to do. I think I'll just color this edge here a dark. Now some of the tools I have when I'm using pencils is that I have blender pencils. I have a Prisma colorless blender pencil. And I also have what I use is Gamsol. And so I will probably, because it's quicker, use Gamsol. I just like it. It's it just makes my job so much easier. In coloring. It gives me less stress to deal with. And I'm just making some circles here. It's better to use like circles, small circles when you're coloring. So I think that the rest of this I will just do in with this color. And I like my colors to blend well. And so now I've almost got this colored in. I'm going to take and use my Gamsol and use a stump to blend all this. And I am also using circular motion when I do this. So that I just blend all these colors in really good. Now, because it's all greenery back here, I will be using different greens in this picture as well. So now I've got my roof done. I'm going to go for my red barn. So I guess what I need to do is color the inside of this roof here green so that it flows all together there. Okay. So I kind of like the red barn type, you know. I think of stuff like this. I like to think about just having, you know, my my barn look like a barn, which would expect for a barn to look like red. So I'm just using a nice bright red. This is actually crimson red in Prisma. And I'm coloring around the door. I'm just going to color that a darker red. The solid dark red. No mixture in there on the with the shading. You know, that's the beauty of doing grayscale, is because it's all really, you cannot make a mistake really in grayscale. It just does the work for you. You just color. That's all you worry about, is just color. Just get your coloring supplies out and color. And you don't have to, you know, you don't have to do it according to the norm. You can do it any color you want. You could make this barn, you know, purple. There's no limit to what you can do with some colors and your imagination. Okay. Now I'm going to get the red Scarlet Lake. And I'm just doing some light scribbles here. Very easy to do. You know, you don't have to be stressed out about colors. You just go from light to dark. And so now I'll use my final color. I'm just coloring away, just having a good time. When I look on the screen, it looks like it's already kind of blended together, but it really isn't. I've got to do some blending of the colors. And I'll use my Gamsol to do that. All right. And I think what I'm going to do with the door is I'm going to make it a little bit different. Maybe make it green, that inside of that door. I need to clean off my little stump here so I don't mix in the wrong colors, because you have to do that with stumps. You have to clean them off. Otherwise you transfer the color that's on them to your other colors on your picture, and you may not want that color in there. So that's a good thing about stumps, is you can take and fix that issue. I'm getting my The nice thing about Gamsol that I like is it doesn't dry immediately, so that you can go back in with your pencil and you can just work with it a little bit more if you need to. I remember when I started using this stuff, I thought, how did I ever live without this? I just love Gamsol. It's 100% odorless mineral spirits. It's 100% mineral spirits that's odorless, I should say. And it helps spread and smooth out your colors so nicely so that you don't have all that white space. All right. So I think I would like to take my darkest red and go back around in through here, along the edges here, because I really want that dark I just want it to look, stand out. So I'll go back in, and having this Gamsol on my picture makes makes the pencil glide like real easy. As you can see, I'm just blending it in. And if you like this video, please press the like button and please share it. Okay, so my barn is pretty red right there, but it looks like there's some barn back here. But I'm just going to color it just the one color because it doesn't need a bunch of colors because there's a lot of green all around the side here. So I will just do like that and then take my Gamsol. Smooth that out. All right. I'm kind of happy with that. I like that. I like the way that it's turning out. I'm pleased. So I'm going to go on and I'm going to begin doing my greens. And so I'm going to start probably at the top here. And I'm just going to take and I'm going to mix because there's no real rhyme and reason, but just gonna mix my different greens so that I have different hues of green in here. And it's fun. It's fun just to color and not worry, not be stressed out. How are we going to do this? What colors are we going to use? I could make some of this, purple for all that matters, it's just, I'm just doing different things. Whatever will float my boat here today and paddle my canoe, as I like to say. I'm just having some good green fun. The nice thing about colored pencils in sets, you often find that you get lots of greens because when you're looking at the trees, they don't all look the same shade of green. They have different shades, even on the same tree. So, have fun. Have fun coloring and don't get bogged down with all the particulars that are out there. So I want it to be pretty consistent, at least the darkness up here. And so I'm just taking this dark color and putting it into this picture. Now I like having the PDFs because it's nice being able to print out a page and not have to tear a book apart. And if you are in limited space, which I am, then having PDFs are really good. You just need to not only save them to your computer, but save them to a flash drive. So if something happens with your computer, you still will have this. Okay. You will always have your PDFs if you have your flash drive. I'm sorry, I get distracted when I'm coloring sometimes. I just get involved in coloring, and that's the beauty of coloring, because you can do that. You can just get lost, you know, and just color. You don't have to make it coloring a big, you know, big type project, make it more than what it is. It's a piece of paper with a picture on it, and you're the one that drives the pencils or the crayons. So drive your pencils, your crayons. Just have fun. And that's what I'm doing. I'm having fun. And if you notice, I'm using the light. Sometimes I've got it up here and then I got it down here, simply because I'm trying to balance out the color. Because I know that if I look at a tree, that tree is just going to be different shades of green. And so I'm going to color this just any old way I choose. Because it's about getting your colors on, it's about having fun, it's about, you know, maybe meeting new people or, online, or maybe even your neighbors. You could do this kind of stuff with your neighbors. Have a get together once in a while and host it. Make a cake, invite 10 friends, and color. and just have fun and enjoy learning about each other. I used to host a color along here where I live until I got so busy that I just couldn't keep up with it. And my hours now that I do this just doesn't allow me, the time to do it here at the house anymore. So I had to give that up. But, if you're at home and you're lonely and stuff, you've got neighbors, invite them over. Have a color along. Plug in a movie. Have fun. Make it a fun night. Getting to know your neighbors. You know what? We've kind of gotten away from that in America, um, of getting to know our neighbors and sharing ourselves and being available to our neighbors. We're so wrapped up in our movies and things, our mechanical devices, that we forget. We are the human race, and we need to communicate with one another. Now, I'm going to sharpen some pencils. So you'll hear my pencil sharpener in the background. But my leads are so low right now. I actually have two electric pencil sharpeners, a bunch of non-electrical. I think for this stuff that's coming up on the side here, this looks like it's growing. I think what I'm going to do there is do it differently. Looks like it could be dried out or something here. So I'm going to do it a little different. That's my fan going off in the back, my heater, not my fan, my heater. I have, it's cold in my apartment, so I have to use a space heater because they're not turning on the heat here until they get ready. So I have to endure, which is fine. I can endure. Okay, so now that I've got this top done, I'm going to take and I'm going to take and blend all this in. See, when you're in these big spaces like this and you're coloring, this is when Gamsol is the best. Because it really does the trick to blending all these things in, all these colors. I'm using a cardboard stump. I recommend not getting cardboard. I recommend getting the rice paper kind. Much, much better for using Gamsol with. And I'm just using swirls and trying to get this darker color to come down and blend in with these other colors. You'll find the longer you color, the less you want to stress over it. I've been coloring for a few years and I've entered some contests and I've won. Yes, I have. But, I don't, and I still enter contests, don't get me wrong. But I just don't like to stress over contests. And I think contest sometimes takes the fun of coloring away because it can, especially if it's built on talent. Because how does that make a person who hasn't been coloring very long, or they don't have that knack that person that probably had school in coloring. How do you compete against somebody who's been trained, been to school and trained? I mean, how do you compete with somebody? You can't. I know I can't. And I don't want to. I'm happy that they can color so good. But I'm happy with my coloring too. I have my own style and my own way of doing things. And for me, what I do is just right. And the way you do it should be just right. It should be for your liking, your enjoyment. That's why I'm not real big into contests unless they are random winners, that you just color your picture just to enter. Because if you have to stress out over coloring, it just takes the joy out of it. So why stress yourself out? Besides, you didn't start coloring because you wanted to win contest. I mean, I didn't. I started out coloring with a group of people here where I live. There was another lady who held a weekly get-together. And that's how I got started. And they didn't have contest. But they had a showing of your work. And we would have our notebooks with our pictures, and we would have cookies. You know, people would make the people who were doing the coloring would just get together, bring cookies and something to drink, and then you'd invite the rest of the apartment building in there to watch. You know, look at your pictures, look at the pictures of the different people. And everybody had their own style to doing stuff. No two people colored alike. And that was what's nice about coloring. So here I am. I'm coloring a one of a kind Candace picture colored. This is a picture by Nola Hintzel. This is out of her book, Old Southwest, Missouri. And it is a very nice book. You can find it on Amazon. You can find it on Etsy in PDF form, or Amazon and on your for a hard copy. All right, so I got all that, the leaves and everything are all done. Now I'm going to take down here and I'm going to do something a little bit different. I'm going to incorporate some colors in here, like yellows and some browns. Because I'm going to think this is like old dried up grass right here for some reason. And I'm going to basically do like I did with the top here. I'm just going to add some brown here and there, and then I'm going to add some other colors. So I'm adding some yellows and some browns and some kind of deeper orange colors. Because this reminds me of kind of grass that's turned like hay. And I'll put a little green in there too, because I think there should be a little green in there along the way here. So this is kind of the look of fall, maybe, you know, getting some of these other colors in here. Then I'll just blend them together, see what happens. As you can tell, I'm a colorist that flies by the seat of my pants. And I just put in colors. I still got to do that door. Give this old barn some character here. I'm really liking the way this is turning out. So and there's no method or why I'm putting this color there or wherever. I'm just doing it. Just just doing it. Okay, now I'm going to take since I have green in there, and I'm going to go ahead and smooth out these colors. As you can see, I'm just blending it all together. Smoothing out the colors so that there aren't all those white spaces. They absolutely drive me crazy, those white spaces. I'm like, ugh, I don't like them. Now that I know I can get rid of them, I just do not like them. So I just color it all up. I tried to set this video, live video, with a different one and it just didn't work out, so I had to restart everything so I could go live because I don't know what I'm doing wrong. with this stuff I'm using. I have to figure it all out. You know, it's a learning experience when you're new and you're just trying something new, and it's like getting on roller skates for the first time. You know, you're just, you know, you skate real stiff-legged, and of course I do that now, even though I used to roller skate as a kid. I don't do that anymore. I cannot. I don't have the balance for it. But it's just a learning experience. So I've got a lot to learn about live broadcasting on YouTube. So this one might come out really crazy, this video. But I'll get the kinks out. I'm pretty good about, I call it geeking around on the internet. It's my favorite word, geek around. That's what I'm doing. I'm geeking around, messing with it. So I got my downward stuff done. And that turned out okay. That turned out pretty good. All right, so I need to do that door before I forget. All right, I'm going to do the door. Maybe I'll do it like a yellow. We'll pretend that this farmer ran out of paint and he was too poor to go buy another couple containers of paint and just used what he had on hand, which was yellow. So that's why we'll color it that way, and it'll kind of go with the grass a little bit. And I can see I need to do some red down there. But I think I'm going to take a little brown, mix it in with this a little bit. I don't want to go too heavy with the brown. Just give it a little touch. And there we go. I get my red out. Get that red in there, because that's part of the barn. Okay. Alright, now I gotta get something with yellow. Oh, this'll work. The other end of this. And got these doors done. And it gives it a kind of a little bit of a rustic look there. Because it's been sitting out for a while, so it's a little bit dirty, you know. I mean, this is an old barn. Okay. Now I'm going to do this part. This looks like there's some grass, but I'm thinking it's going to have some brown and some yellow in it as well. Not a lot of yellow. And some green. So I'll just color this part like this. Because this looks like it's been abandoned, this little barn here. So I'm going to give it a road. I'll make all that the road. So let me get a darker brown. And then I'll get my lighter brown. And I think I'm going to go for an even lighter brown. Let me see, what can I use? Ah, this color. Okay, so now we got our grass, we got the road, and so I'll go ahead and blend all this stuff together. First I'll do the grass. Get all that in there. And now I'll do my road. And the last thing I'll do is this frame around here. And since I want the main part of this to be the barn, I'm going to use a red frame. So first I need to blend in my browns. Okay, so I guess I'm going to have to get out and sand this down a little bit so I don't get green in my road. Okay. This picture really does look autumnish. I guess I could have put some orange up in those trees and stuff and yellows, but that's okay. This will work just fine. Okay, so now the last thing is my frame, and so I'm going to do a dark red all the way around. Now I'm not using circular motion here. Obviously there's not enough room to do circular motion. You'd have to really do tiny. And I can't say that I'm that gifted. So, all right, we'll just move on and do it this way. I'm going to sharpen my pencil here. And this color really doesn't take a lot of skill, but you know, that red will help bring out that barn. It will set it off just right. Because that's the main focus of this picture, is that barn. So can see, I'm going pretty fast with this. And don't get fretted out if you go outside the lines. Coloring should be fun. Fun, fun, fun. And so once I get through coloring this edging, I'll take my Gamsol once again and I'll smooth it out, the colors out. And I'll just go along the edge here. Nice and quick and easy. And as you can see, it's not taking me long to do this. Gamsol cuts right through it and smooths out those colors. Now you can use a colorless blender, but when you're on a picture this big, you really need to use Gamsol or mineral spirits anyways. Get the odorless kind. Gamsol is just one brand. You don't have to get the Gamsol. Now when I scan this picture to post it on Facebook, it won't show the lines because I will take it up to the red frame. All right. And there is our finished picture. So here I am back with you, and I'm going to show you the picture in its completed form. And you can see it was very easy to color. There was no stress involved. And that red frame brings out that red barn. And you know, I really like this picture. It turned out great. So I just want to thank you for joining me. This is Candace with Get Your Colors On. And I just want you to know that I'm honored that you joined me today to watch this video. This is my very first live broadcast video on YouTube. And I just want to thank you. You've been a great audience. And please, if you like this video, press the like and share it. And help bring some people in to watch me color and have some fun and chat too. You can chat on these things, so I really like that. So, okay, well, you have a good day. Don't forget, get your colors on. And I'll be back another time. Bye-bye.